Good morning to Dr. HAFIZAH and everyone. Today our team, which is team 6, is going to present you about advantage and benefit of using activity-based costing method, or known as Abyssy method. My name is Intake, matrix number is 270246. This is my team member, which is ABDUL HISHAM being ABDUL GANI 273310, CHUA 279194, ARCHANAA anak perempuan MOGAN 280251. Now we're going to discuss about introduction. We're going to review an article for our title. The article name is Costing Structure Improvement Using Activity-Based Costing Method in Palm Oil Plantation of Malaysia. The aim of this article or journal is to apply activity-based costing method as a tool to estimate the cost for palm oil plantations and also to get a clear picture whether it is loss or profit in the coming 20 to 30 years. And also, they use this method to see what is the benefit they can obtain. According to the article, activity-based costing is defined as costing method that help to identify activity that involved in the organization and assign those costs of each activity to the all product and services according to the actual consumption by each. It is also a technique that assigns all indirect costs to the direct costs compared to conventional costing method. Abyssy aim is to determine the causal and impact relationship in order to allocate the cost objectively. Why companies prefer to use activity-based costing? Because it is more accurate to determine the actual cost of the production in the organization. Generally, we can see that activity-based costing it is the best method to overcome the limitation of traditional costing accounting. Talk about literature review. Under literature review, there will be 3 sections. The first section is the past research. According to research, there are many problems using the traditional costing method. Why? Because it is lack of ability to identify the actual cost of production of a product as well as the cost of its service. This will cause us management to get wrong data and make the wrong decision. Next, according to the research, we can see that 40.12% of companies use activity-based costing method to identify cost information, whereas 16.67% use activity-based costing to calculate to get accurate profit. So that is the 2 reasons why companies want to apply activity-based costing. Now let's see which sector apply more activity-based costing. According to research, 36% of engineering sector, 33% of financial sector, 15% of healthcare sector apply activity-based costing. This shows that activity-based costing is more applied in the sector of engineering, financial and healthcare sector. The next section under literature review is past application Abyssy method in certain sector. This section will show us what is the result after implementing activity-based costing method in certain sector. According to the past research, it shows that after using activity-based costing method, Taiwan hybrid green power able to make a better decision to get the maximum profit. Next, the past research also shows that after applying activity-based costing method in Indian Steel Plant Company, they able to clearly define their activity and operate efficiently for their resources. They also managed to minimize their cost of manufacturing. Next, the past research also shows that after applying the activity-based costing method in the sector of engineering, such as Indian Steel Plant Company, they managed to define their activity clearly and able to operate under efficiently resources. Because of that, they're able to minimize their cost of manufacturing. Lastly, the past research also shows that activity-based costing method has been applied in the healthcare sector as a cost estimation model to identify the cost information to assist the reproductive technology treatment in Italy. There was two benefits obtained after applying this method, which is they able to clearly define the actual cost information of the treatment, and they also able to set up an efficient budget to maintain the efficiency of the treatment. That's all from me. For the next section under literature review will be presented by my other teammate. Thank you.
Hi, my name is HISHAM GANI and my matric number is 273310. I will present about the information founded by the past research for the advantage using this Abyssy method. For the first one, it provides accurate, timely and reliable information to manager in order to make the decision. This Abyssy method is based on every single activity will be studied and be analyzed. Second one, it provides actual cost information to support management to do the decision making. Since Abyssy is based on every single activity will be studied and analyzed, therefore the company will able to make this decision on how to reduce costs and avoid wastage. And thirdly, it provide production plan and achieve the optimal profitable product mix. Its expected monthly expenses has been calculated with this Abyssy method, so the management able to obtain the actual profitable of it easily by deduction of the profitable and the manufacturing cost that had been calculated. For the fourth one, Abyssy method also improve all the company inefficient activity. It's known all the costs of each activity requirement for labor, material and time. Therefore, management can plan to find enough material on time. For the fifth one, it will set up the budget of a complex project. This is because the method forecasting and estimate the expected expense in the future. And lastly, it provides the detailed information for planning and controlling, which lead to reduce unnecessary costs. As we can see, Abyssy method lists down all the costs in the activity, and then we can identify which cost was overspent in the activity and reduce the spending costs. So the past research show that Abyssy method provide a lot of advantage. Now I will discuss on the methodology section. For the methodology, it showed that the author did some survey so that he can implement the Abyssy method. Table 1 showed that the Simpai estate, which is one of the 10 palm oil estate in Malaysia by the XXX company. It has two areas, which is mature area and immature area. All the detail about the size of this Simpai estate can be seen in Table 1. For Table 2, it showed that there are 6 types of activity have been identified from the survey, such as harvesting, manuring, weeding, transport, pruning, and oric test spraying. The wages per day in each process has been identified and recorded in Table number 2. And for Table number 3, it showed that the production of the palm oil per month in year 2017. The analysis of the data was done by the author from the survey. From the survey, it seems that there are 5 steps to implement the Abyssy method. Step 1 is to define the activity that involved in the production process. Different company will have a different type of product, so they will have a different number of activity center. The manufacturing cost is more accurate when there is a larger number of activity center. Identifying proper cost driver for each activity will be the second step. After identifying the activity involved in the production, the proper cost of driver of each activity should be identified. Cost driver is the root because that affects the expenses of the production operation. Management will allow to determine the real cost to perform an activity. For the third step is allocating resource cost to each activity. The resource cost used to operate each activity has to be measured, and the amount of the overhead costs required by this activity has to be forecast and allocated in percentage. In fact, the resource costs are already recorded in the existing accounting system like salary, supplies and utility. Overhead costs are portioned into a different activity, so the cost information obtained is more accurate when there is the larger number of the category. And estimating the cost per unit of activity driver will be the fourth step. The activity cost of the cost consumed by the cost object should be proportional to the activity driver. The list of the activity performed in the business and the total activity cost will be the outcome. The cost obtained is more accurate when there is a larger number of activity driver of activity costs. However, there is only one or two activity drivers should be considered in order to reduce the complexity of the costing. And the last step is preparing a list of activity for each of the product. Any product for which the management want to separate cost measure is the cost object. Therefore, the accurate profitable will be obtained and accurate profitable will be calculated, and it's moving the production from moving base to activity base. That's all from me. For the next section, I will pass to the other presenter to continue. Thank you.
Hello, I am ARCHANAA MOGAN. My metric number is 280251. I'm gonna kickstart my presentation about findings. As we all can see from the slide, the estate engaged with 6 key activities, which is harvesting, manuring, weeding, transport, manuring, and ochre spraying. Table 4 shows the major purpose of each action. Each activity has its own set of activity that's involved. It was possible to examine the entire map of activity and it's related to the connection them in a figure 3 by utilizing the Abyssy approach. The process of flow chart explain about the workers use cereal to purue young plum oil trees and sickle for the development one. Abyssy method assign management to has a better understanding for each activity involved in plum oil plantation. The cost of information each action engaged will be reported in the section. There are some assumptions for the following analysis data. The first one is the studies is considered as the monthly expenses of the plum oil plantation. The second one is there is a 30 working days monthly. The third one, only one manpower is considered and its monthly wages is 1,500. Rest of the assumption we can refer from the slide. As I mentioned before, there are 6 key activities in the palm oil plantation. Each activity has its own set of expenses. Let's we see in detail. Based on activity A, by adopting Abyssy approach, it's helped to break down the expenses information in order to lead the management to have a better decision making. From table 5, it's revealed that workers normally spend 3 days per month for panuring, and the labor cost is the highest cost among others. While activity B, the relationship is indicated in figure 5. The management is able to understand how the cash flow in this operation. From table 6, it's revealed that labor cost is the largest expenses among others. While activity C, 57.1% of total expenses being spent for diesel and maintenance for this activity, 34.3% for labor cost, 6% for transport fee and 1.7% for equipment. By identifying the cost consuming activity and resources, the diesel and maintenance cost is the maximum cost among others. While activity D, the detail of cost information of the activity manuring is presented in table 8. From table 8, it shows that fertilizer cost is the topmost cost among others, which is 49.5% of expenses being utilized for the fertilizer. Based on activity E, the Abyssy method would enable the administration to approach proper and dependable product cost of data of manufacturing process. The labor cost is the highest cost among others. Final activity, which is activity F. Abyssy helped management to track the expenses to the product inside an activity. From table 10, the equipment cost, which is the snap scalpel sprayer, is the greatest cost among others. Since the management can identify the higher cost of expenses, then they can try to reduce the higher expenses cost so that production costs won't be higher and can help the company to reduce the cash flow. Table 11 shows that the total overhead cost for the 10-acre plum oil plantation each month is 4,684.5. The activity harvesting consider of the highest overhead cost, which is corresponding to the 1,740, which is 37.1%. It followed by activity transport, manuring, weeding, panuring, and ochre spraying, which is considered overhead cost is 875 and 756.5 correspondingly. The project monthly production cost of Simba Estate of XXX frame from Table 12 was 4,094,303.4. Relation between table 11 and 12 is overhead cost divided by the driver quantity to get the cross driver rate. After getting the cross driver rate, they will make the estimation of monthly actual quantity, which can be seen at table 12. So they can take the cost driver rate that has been calculated in table 11 times with the estimation actual quantity in table 12 to get the accurate overhead cost. To summarize the finding, it has been established that ABC approach is one of the greatest methods to allocate costs and resources in certain product or process. Those cost driver rate would enable management to do forecasting and predictable the project or expenses in the future. ABC assists management to declare the actual manufacturing cost of the product or process. That's all from my part. I pass to next presenter.
So good day everyone, my name is CHUA, metric number 279194. I'll be continuing the presentation. So one of the important benefits of activity-based costing system is the management is able to have a better understanding of a product or processes. Activity-based costing system will help to obtain a true picture of a product or processes, so it will increase the cost transparency of a product or processes. Every expense of each activity could be highlighted easily. Next, the activity-based costing system will also help management to obtain the proper cost drivers of each activity. A proper cost driver will help management has a better idea about the true cost that makes overhead cost to product or process. Based on the cost driver, the management is able to allocate the costs and resources more accurately and reduce the waste of each activities. The operation of activities will go more efficiently. Therefore, the management will fully understand how the cash flow in and out of the product and process. Furthermore, activity-based costing will help management to have a better cost estimation tool. Activity-based costing system assign the actual cost information and proper cost driver. The cost driver rate will help the management to do forecasting and estimate the expected expenses in the future. Activity-based costing system also help the management to declare the actual manufacturing cost of a product or service. So the management is able to control the manufacturing costs and make the improvement in order to reduce the overhead costs and improve profitability. So that's all for the benefits of activity-based costing method. So let me summarize what's the key point of this journal. Throughout this journal, we can clearly see that the activity-based costing system brings a lot of advantages and benefits to the industry. The industry is able to perform well and finally achieve their goals. The activity-based costing system helps the company to determine the actual manufacturing cost of a product or service. Besides that, the activity-based costing system also helps the management to have a better understanding of each of these activities. The activity-based costing system also helps the management to have a better cost estimation tool. Since we understand the roots of activities, this directly helps the company to eliminate the wastage and reduce the extra expenses occur like overhead costs during the production. Last but not least, the management would fully understand how the cash flow in and flow out of a product or a process. So in short, the activity-based costing system enables the company to improve their operation to be more efficient and efficiency. So the activity-based costing system is highly recommended to be used in cost accounting for every organization. It's a different way of looking at an organization's cost in order to maximize their profit margins. So if activity-based costing system is implemented with correct understanding for correct purpose, it can return a great long-term value to the organization. So that's all from our team. Thank you very much for listening our team's presentation, and sorry if there is any inappropriate action from us.